There's no feeling more intense than starting over. If you've broken your Scratch project moments after you've shared it, as I have, or you spent hours working on a project only to notice too late that one of your sprites has unexplainably gone missing. If you've made use of that difficult to name thing of thing block within the sensing category, amazingly useful but capable due to a Scratch bug only to come back the next day to discover you weren't even logged in, nothing has been saving. Starting over is harder than starting up. If you're not ready, then what you're about to go through may be too much. Feel free to go away and come back. I'll be here. Alright, thanks for coming with me, all said. Imitation is not just the sincerest form of flattery, it's the sincerest form of learning. This game is a recreation of a game that came out in 2017, titled Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy Scratch Costume Library. Unlike Unity or Unreal, Scratch does not provide you with a built-in physics or 3D rendering engine. It has no state-of-the-art debugger, you can't even pause your scripts. We are forced to program old school. Our experience capped at 30 frames per second on a 480 by 360 pixel stage. But these very restrictions force us to experiment, to think out of the box, to grow as developers as we become masters of all things Scratch. And let's not forget, what we lack in technology, we make up for in community. This fantastic bunch of budding software engineers, building, learning, creating, playing, remixing, as diverse a group of people as the very Scratch assets we now so skillfully attempt to assemble.
Aproximadamente 10 horas después.
The player, hammer, and level. I spent no time on the art, just using ScratchGat and a few rectangles drawn in the sprite editor. Scripts for the player quickly mocked up in a similar fashion to those I prod and poke at those scripts. What I had imagined and the results I was achieving were hard to reconcile. The hammer and the player sprites would get stuck in the walls and ground, shake and jiggle and clip up to the top of the screen. Finally, I decided to give it another go. Whoops, oh dear. Oh no, not again. Pick yourself up, brush yourself off. Back up you go. And so, back in Scratch, I completely restructured the player and hammer scripts, bringing the scripts together in a single sprite. This allowed the movement of the two objects to be tracked together and to move dependent on each other. One plus one is 2. If this wasn't always the case, if sometimes the answer was 3, then we would be in trouble. The addition of the player but without it the game can go horribly wrong. And now the final climb. I'm sorry to say climb. Up the tree as you drift into the night.